All right, cool. Today we're here with Emily and her husband Alex. We're gonna take a little tour of the Eroica, right?
Yeah, Eroica.
So
not erotica.
Yeah.
Contrary to popular opinion.
Yeah. So what does that mean, actually? There's got to be a meaning behind it, right?
Yeah. So Eroica is the name of Beethoven's Third Symphony.
Oh, okay.
Hero in Italian.
Hero?
Yeah, it's like a symphony
Nice.
he wrote for Napoleon, and it's kind of like supposed to sort of represent the hero's journey musically.
Oh.
And it kind of reminded me of gold mining, because I think we're all heroes up here.
Yeah.
To do this job.
For sure.
I mean, we're scumbag heroes, but we're heroes nonetheless. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, when I named it, I had all these like lofty things in mind. I didn't realize it was kind of close to another word at the time. So that's all right. You can't change the name of the boat. It's very, very bad luck. In fact, when I changed the name of my boat, we launched it and the outboard caught on fire. And after that, I'm like, well, not changing the name again. So,
Yeah.
I don't care how many people call it Erotica. I'm not changing the name.
Yeah, no, that's good. If you had to choose a different name, what would be our second choice?
Probably after another symphony by Stravinsky called Firebird.
Firebird.
Yeah, you can't really pollute that.
Yeah,
but, you know.
That would have been cool. You could have a big like Firebird on the side.
Know, like a big phoenix.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah. Well, what do you want to see first?
Yeah, cool. Why don't you just show us your sluice box? That's where the money maker is.
Yeah.
So what is this? Is this a 10-inch?
Yeah, this is a 10-inch.
So this is a 10-inch dredge, and this is the money maker right here. That's a big box, huh?
Oh yeah. Well, you know, it's really not adequate for this type of suction dredge.
Oh, okay.
And the power. It's not the best box, but unfortunately, with the style of the boat, it's a catamaran style aluminum pontoon boat, and we're already resting pretty low in the water, so we can't put a second stage on it. There's really no way to improve this box other than maybe to lengthen it,
Yeah.
which would give us problems traveling. So we kind of make do with this. It retains gold reasonably well. It could certainly retain it a lot better, but it does okay for us. Right now it's completely empty. We haven't mined in about a week, and we did a cleanup already. So this is a fresh sluice box.
Fresh box right there.
Yeah.
So it looks like just all expanded metal. Is that how you do it?
Yeah, we do. All expanded metal over about 2 to 3 layers of carpet, depending on where. At the top, we got 3 layers of carpet, and then we go on to 2. And we have that backing on the mat. So the gold doesn't sink through.
Awesome.
And then we have the expanded metal with that gap, so that we get good water flow. That kind of keeps the ripples where they should be. And then we got half-inch screen here, quarter-inch screen up here from the top.
Okay.
And it does really well. It keeps the big rocks where they should be, and the smaller material, the concentrates here, the ripples work really well. We ended up adding all of these bolts and washers here to kind of keep that expanded metal action going, and the ripples working the way that they should.
Okay.
So that works great. We have it the old-fashioned way of attaching the attaching the screens, but the problem with this is that you get a little bow in the center eventually. The sluice box, it's made of this like pretty thin stainless steel.
Yeah.
Stainless steel or aluminum? I can never remember. Stainless. Yeah, pretty thin stainless steel, and it kind of gets a bow in the middle. And so we added these bolts to really keep that expanded metal down and keep that good riffle action going.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, that holds it right down nice and flat.
Yeah. No, it's pretty good. All things considered.
You ever find something really strange in your sluice box?
All the time. Oh, gee, I know. We'll find like older artifacts.
Really?
In there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Have you found anything weird?
I found a diver boot one time.
You found a diver boot?
Yeah. I heard Mr. Rick go, "Oh no!"
Yeah, where's the rest of it?
His boot was just like caught on the metal here.
That's pretty funny.
Clarify that it did not have a foot.
That's good.
Yeah, it was just an empty boot. There was no.
That happened to me one time dredging, but it was waders, and it was full of sand, and it was upside down. So as I'm dredging down, it looked like there was like somebody in it. I'm like, oh, I hope this is gonna do it.
That is so.
That was freaky.
Some people found a body some years back. They were dredging.
Did they really?
They actually found
wow, that would be scary.
On the west side. Last year in the spring, after we launched the boat, we shut the motor down. We were about to do a shift change. We were about to put the skiff in, and this baby seal crawls up in our sluice box.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
sweet.
It just like I remember I was like shocked. And I was so surprised. I was like scared at first. I was like, ah, and it just was looking at me, and it hung out in here.
It just hung out.
hours.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, like it hung out. It was just like chilling, and we didn't touch it or anything like that.
Just
We
hanging
don't
out.
want to mess with wildlife, but
Yeah.
it just hung out here for hours. And the next
That's
shift
cool.
came out, and it stayed. Like I had to turn the sluice box on
It
to
was
get
just
it out of there.
Sunbathing gnome style.
Oh man, yeah, it was a bathing beauty. Yeah, but you know the thing about this boat is that it's so slow. Like it really is built for working nearby.
Yeah.
Like, you really can't go. You don't want to go long distance with this boat. I mean, it's just slow, and you really just don't want to get caught in a bad weather cycle.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we got 260s.
Yeah, 260s. So what's this thing? What does this thing do right here?
This is our breaker flap or anti-thrust.
And what's that for?
Well, you know, when you're running the box full tilt boogie, as my dad likes to say, you're going to create a lot of pressure and a lot of propulsion. And when you got a good anchor set going, you just don't want to, you know, lose control like that. You want to kind of keep the boat in one spot. So the anti-thrust kind of helps disperse the water. The water impact from the sluice box hits it, and it kind of like
Okay.
dispels the impact, which helps a lot. It's so like basic, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, because it used to be when the earliest dredges, offshore dredges came about, people didn't put outboards on them. They didn't put any kind of propulsion on them. So you would move the thing around by firing up your sluice box.
Really?
In fact, yeah, if you're ever in a bind and all you have is your sluice box and the outboards don't work, it's not a bad way to get around.
so you could just fire up your
So I
sluice and...
read.
You want to lower it down to the website?
Oh, yeah.
So it's adjustable, and when you're running, you
Yeah.
just put that down like that.
When you're running, you just throw that guy down, and when you're traveling, just pull that guy
Oh,
up.
that's cool.
I like to use my foot to assist.
That's a neat invention. So you could really tell the difference, like say if you forgot to put it down, could you, it'll just start swinging the boat around?
Oh yeah, we
Really?
definitely forgot to put it down, and we definitely start swinging.
We noticed
Yeah.
that today doing that job where it's like the boat's
Yeah.
starting to just push forward, and Rick comes running back here and he's like, oh shoot, the breaker
The
fly.
breaker,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Yep, yep.
Okay. Yeah.
So the anchors, what do you got? An anchor out back here, and then one in front?
Yeah, we got 3 anchors. Actually, one of the best things we've done in recent times is add a 3rd anchor. It really makes a difference. to the
Oh, okay.
set.
So you put 2 up front and 1 in the back?
Yeah, we got 2 up front. The next 2 will probably add a 4th anchor.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, that's the way to maneuver, man. I mean, if you have the more anchoring ability you have, the more ability you have to like move the boat around according to where the diver wants to go. You know, I can't tell you how many times I've been in a situation where the current changes and the wind changes. The diver's like working here, the wind changes, and all of a sudden the boat's moved, you know, 40 feet over this way, and it's because you have a 2 anchor set. You know, and you don't have any control. But if you have like an anchor over here and an anchor out here, it's not a big problem. You just come up there, diver's right back where it needs to be.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Adding a 3rd anchor is a total game changer. I
Yeah,
think a 4th anchor will be even better. But these are a little bit funky, these winches. I mean,
What's the pros and cons?
Yeah, it looks like, so you got them on an electric hoist, huh?
yeah,
Hydraulic.
they're electric winches, which, you know, it saves in weight. It's significantly less expensive than doing hydraulics, but gosh, it's just endless trouble having electronic anything out here. So we just constantly have solenoids going out, constantly have wiring problems, power problems. We fixed a lot of it by connecting the anchors to 2 RV chargers that keep the amperage high. So, you know, you never really, like lose power at an inconvenient time. It makes all the difference. But man, like, if I have a weight problem on this boat, I have to like keep this boat as light as possible because it's already pretty overloaded with heavy equipment. If I didn't have a weight problem, I would absolutely do hydraulics instead. This electric thing is
Yeah.
bottom.
The hydraulics are nice, but they're expensive, right?
Yeah, hydraulics are super expensive and they're heavy. You gotta have all these motors.
So what do you got power in this bad boy?
Yeah, it's my favorite part of the boat.
Yeah. Yeah, check out the pump.
Yeah, so
Wow, look at that. That's huge.
Yeah, we got an 8x6.
Look at the size of that pump.
Yeah.
That must be pump a
Look at that
lot of water, huh? Wow.
Moves a lot of water. And then we have like a really great jetting system under the boat, you know.
So the sluice box is right under the boat and then goes to the jet right there?
Yeah, sluice box, runs to the, you know, the flat pipe, the venturi, and then runs to the hose here.
So the hose goes there and then all the way back? And
Yes,
then
sir. Yeah, and this is a new jet, a new Dalkey style jet that we kind of see on the boat there.
It's kind of underneath, but
yeah, and we had a jet, and it's so it's like a round jet. A friend of mine is just like a genius at calculating these things. He helped us out at the beginning of the season. We replaced the old jet, which was it was not only like developing all these holes, which significantly reduces your suction, and also like, you know, gold can leak out, which we don't want, but it was improperly built in the first place, so the square tubing was like much less efficient and actually made much less pressure. Now that we have the round jets, our suction is like so much better. We can go through sand easier, we can move a lot more material, we can move that like really difficult, sticky, hard bottom shit, and it's made like a huge difference in our averages and stuff like that, which has been awesome. And then so this jetting system and this pump is connected to one of my favorite parts about the boat, which is the 100 horse diesel Cummins motor.
oh, that's a Cummins.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
and,
nice.
Man, I tell you what, like, I don't ever want to have anything other than a diesel motor on a boat again. Like, gas motors are so finicky, like, they don't like to run, the salt water really messes with them. The diesels like to run no matter what. It's amazing. Like, you can do anything to them and they still run. So this like ends up being the most like reliable aspect on the boat, reliable thing on the boat. So I love this diesel motor.
Dude, one of the
Me too.
Oh yeah.
Rips.
Yeah, Rick, tell us about the suction after we replaced the jets.
I'll tell you what, Grant did a phenomenal job redoing the jets, and we can bust through the hard clay now. We move a big rock out and we can undercut stuff. So it's got more suction than anything I've been in.
Just rips, huh?
It rips.
Nice.
Like, so much you get stuck in there, it's like going, please get to the flap.
Yeah.
But then we have this the air actuator is awesome.
So what's an air actuator?
Here on the harness, we put a, right here, this is the air, it's open right now, so it's bypassing.
Okay.
I close this valve and open this one.
Yeah.
And it brings the throttle up. We have a hose that goes all through the umbilical over to here, that air actuator.
Okay.
It's a semi-brake actuator.
So the diver actually controls the throttle?
Yes.
Wow. That's cool.
And it works great.
So if you have a problem, you can just you can idle her down on your own.
And sometimes we have comm issues, you know. This year it's been pretty good with no issues.
Really?
But sometimes, I mean, you're a diver, you know how it is. You get down there and you're like going, you think you're losing suction, you're like going, hey, idle down. And they're like, what? What? My arm's stuck, what? And then before, our mic inside sometimes would shock the shit out of your mouth. You know, you're like, if you got cavities, it really, you're like, quiet, don't say anything. What?
Exactly.
You know? But this year it's been absolutely phenomenal. We haven't had that issue at all.
That's cool.
But that little time delay can really booger you up, you know? So if you can just do it on your harness real quick, there's no telling them what to do.
That's awesome. That's good.
And one of the best like upgrades they made this year is such a little thing that Grant wired in. Is this digital tachometer here?
Oh, you do?
So as a tender, you can't see it. It's on the other side.
Okay.
But you can see this thing typically runs like 850 RPMs in idle and then full throttle, so 1450, almost 1500. And you can diagnose real quick where it's like the diver, okay, if you're not getting the suction, it's like sometimes there's a rock jam, but other times, you know, the diver might like hit the air actuator and like throttle down a little bit, or
I do that periodically. I'm so busy down there that my arm hits that little valve and bypasses it just a little bit, and the suction starts to go down. I think, okay, maybe there's a plug, and he gets out there and he checks the flare, there's nothing there, and then I look down and it's like, oh. He said, hey, check your actuator. Like, oh yeah, it was
Or like, we really discovered that we needed it this year because we had a problem. Our water got our diesel got super contaminated with water. And we kept losing RPMs. We thought we were going crazy. We were like, jam, like, you know, like what's going on with the motor? Are the fuel injectors going bad? And it just ended up having like
Oh, really?
And if we had a gauge, then the thermometer, then we would know immediately that something wasn't right with the motor.
Right. So now can you see it from inside the cabin? The tachometer?
Yeah. You can
So you could just if you're watching it and you notice it go down like 100 RPM, you know there's some kind of issue now.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's cool.
Like we also know that we had a major pump blowout earlier this year, and that was really noticeable too. The tachometer wasn't. Nothing was doing anything. The tachometer definitely wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
Thank goodness he had redundant parts and we fixed it.
Yeah.
We didn't miss any time diving whatsoever.
That's a problem here in Nome. It's sometimes if you don't have backup parts, you're screwed.
Yeah.
It takes a long time to get parts.
It could take a week or 2 weeks just to get something flown in.
Well, especially post-pandemic, I'll call places in the lower 48 looking for parts, and they're all like, yeah, we literally do not have that in the country right now.
Wow.
It's a huge shortage. Even the pump place I deal with, they're always like scarce on parts. I was trying to get parts from them all summer, and like literally like last minute they got the parts that I needed right off the pump.
The day of. That's crazy.
The day of. Yeah. I called
But
them.
now she has a backup pump to the new pump.
Really? Yeah, you can't go wrong with a lot of backups.
Yeah. Well, there's a miner up here who told me, he's like, Emily, you need 2 of everything. Like, you need no, you need 3 of everything, basically. You need 1 working thing on the boat and then 2 backups.
Exactly.
It's painful for my frugal heart, he's right.
It's expensive, but it's cheaper in the long run, probably.
Oh, yeah. Like, if you lose a day, you're losing thousands of dollars anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Just people, it's like a penny wise and a pound foolish. I've definitely been guilty of that.
I think we all have.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody wants to be out 20 grand a day, possibly.
Exactly, yeah.
Or more.
Yeah, if you can't go out, you could lose 5, 10, 15 ounces in a day,
Just like that.
Yeah, just like that. But,
Doggy.
oh, doggy ran away.
Yeah, this system works really well.
So, Rick, so you're a diver here on the boat. You ever have a very scary experience?
Oh, yes, of course I have.
You ever run out of air or something? And
Yes, I have.
yeah.
And I've had to ditch my gear. That's why I don't. Most people will buckle up. I don't. That way I can just dump it, pull my mask off, shoot to the top.
Did you ever have to do that?
Yes, I've had to do it a couple times on this vessel.
Really?
One time, because the fuel filter on the air compressor, not this one, our other old air compressor, the fuel filter was full of rust and dirt. Oh. And I lost air, immediately. And I'm like, what the hell? Wow. And I ditched my gear, came up, and came in here, and it's on the show, the first year I did it. But I came out, immediately went to the compressor, and it had to be a fuel problem, so I took off the nut on the float bowl, and I saw a bunch of chunky rust come out. Oh man. So I took the whole float bowl off and looked in there, and it was loaded with rust and garbage. Jeez. Dumped that out, cleaned it out, put it back on, fired it up, went back down, finished my dive.
Wow, that must have been scary though, huh?
Not really.
No, it's
to be honest with you,
kind of instinct.
I'm a professional diver by trade. I went to school and worked in the boat for years. Yeah. And it's just knowing what to do. Panicking is not an option. You panic, you can die. Yeah, for sure. So time is money out here, man.
The only time Rick loses his head is when he's on really good gold.
Really? Kind of freaks out.
No, he's real happy down there.
Yep.
You almost want to give him his privacy,
Exactly.
I kind of get a little silly. Like start laughing and dancing and playing down there.
Yeah,
great, gravy yum yums.
Yeah, exactly.
It's definitely an awesome
I don't want to come up,
Yeah.
Oh no,
You know how it is when you see that get gold, you don't want to leave.
Yeah.
Hey, you've been down 5 hours. You've been down 6 hours. Okay. Let me do one more.
Yep.
I think my long dive this year was what, 7.5.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I'm on that good stuff, you just don't want to come up. Keep going.
Yeah.
Just go look for it.
But it's a great vessel to work on. Emily's great to work with.
That's cool.
And Alex too.
And Alex has been a great addition to the team.
So Alex is new this year?
No, he came last year.
Oh, you're here last year?
We're working on the vessel,
Oh, cool.
First year.
Awesome.
In an official capacity.
He's been a great asset for sure.
That's cool. So Emily, I was just curious, was this dredge like your first piece of prospecting equipment? Did you start with a gold pan in a river or a sluice box somewhere, or did you just kind of hop right into the big dredge?
Oh goodness. Yeah, so this dredge, when I first came up here, I was diving with my friend Zeke, and on a level 6, a little overpowered 6. There's no breaker flap on the nozzle. Actually, like unbeknownst to everybody, when my first year up here, I got my arm sucked in the hose.
Oh.
I was wearing this like too large of a dive glove, and there was no breaker flap, and it was like a 40 force on a 6.
Oh no.
So it was like this massively overpowered 6, and so like, I mean, I managed to wiggle my glove out, but there was no breaker flap. We didn't even have comms at the time.
Oh geez.
So like, that's like something that they, you know, they never really put that on the show, that there was no breaker flap. All
So
these idiots
when you
were
got
like,
your arm sucked up,
why didn't you lift up the breaker flap? And it's like, there is no breaker flap.
so when you got your arm sucked, you couldn't even tell that Zeke there was a problem?
Yeah, I couldn't tell the diver.
Oh man, that must have been scary.
It's like my like 2nd or 3rd dive ever.
Wow.
Anyway, I pulled my arm out. But yeah, no, so I dove a bit. My first couple of years up here, had some bad experiences.
Yeah.
Like Vic said, like, you know, if you're not comfortable in the water, if you're like kind of, you know, if you have like a bad experience, or you're just not naturally comfortable, or you're prone to panicking in certain environments, you shouldn't be doing this job. Like, it's just the danger to yourself, the danger to the people up top, and it's a danger to your wallet.
Oh yeah.
You know, you're not making money for the vessel, then you shouldn't be, you know, doing the job down there. So I kind of had to either like, you know, get a boat of my own, or leave the business altogether. And I chose, you know, in my 3rd year up here, I got this vessel. But you know, the thing about this boat is like nothing that you see on here was on here. It is
Really?
totally stripped bare, no motors, like completely a mess. The only thing original on this boat are the pontoons.
Wow. So you actually built this from the ground up, huh?
Literally everything has been replaced. I mean, many people have worked on this boat over the years. You know, my brother came out and built the wheelhouse. My brother Paul. You know, we got a different power plant on here. We got a different pump, a different setup. I mean, everything's been changed, redone. We've had really talented people like Rick over the years come and contribute their ideas of how to improve systems and make diving more efficient. And
That's awesome.
yeah, you know, it's really been like, you know, it's really about how like.
Holy crap, she almost did me.
What are you doing?
Good girl.
What's he doing? Jumping around? Jumping around? Huh?
Can you talk about the air system at all?
No, not yet. Yeah. If yeah, you want to go over your air?
Yeah,
So at what time did you have it on your motor and then you switched it? Is that?
yeah, we've had a lot of different air systems over the years. Like, goodness, remember the oilless?
Oh yeah.
The breathable oil dive compressor?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was something.
That didn't work out for you?
No. It wasn't the greatest.
It worked for a while.
Yeah, it worked for a bit. We put a breathable dive oil in it, and
Monolith.
Really?
yeah, it was fine. And then we tried putting a P263 and running it off of one of the pulleys in the motor, but that massively overpowered it. It drove the air pressure up, and it wasn't. It was starting to burn up the 263, so we got rid of that. And now we're just using a little Honda gas motor to drive a 263.
And that's all you really need, right?
Yeah, that was pretty well. Then we got 2 spare air tanks, so
the air
divers
gets
got
built
about
up.
5 minutes
There.
of breathe time.
Yeah.
Is there more than enough, hopefully, to get back up to the surface. We have like I'm gonna go to the wheelhouse to show you. We got gauges with the air pressure. The tenders are always watching constantly. They just, you know, when you're the thing about diving, it's like, yes, we're shallow, and that makes people think it's safe, but really, like, this is some of the more dangerous diving you can do, because you're in an environment where you're running heavy equipment, you got lines, you got anchor, you got hose, you got umbilical. There's tons of ways to get fouled up down there, tons of obstacles between you and the surface. And shallow or not, this is a dangerous job, so you really have to be on high alert and make sure you're monitoring your systems and watching out for the diver at all times.
Right, yeah, for sure.
This year we actually had an issue with the air compressor. This pulley broke. This pulley blew apart. Half of it blew apart.
Wow,
So the
cracked in
pump was
half?
still not spinning. The motor was running, but it stopped.
Wow.
And Alex caught it And I came up. He goes, hey, you might want to check your stuff and come on up.
Yeah.
And I came up, and sure enough, that pulley was broke.
Yeah. Actually, that happened in my last dive, but it got wet. My last dive,
Kept slipping.
yeah, they blew the box to try to get a rock jam out. It got wet. No one noticed it. Went back down, and then I could barely breathe. I came back up, and I looked at the motor, and it was just going. And yeah, so
I'll tell you what, these guys are really diligent. Alex and Emily and whoever else is tending is very diligent about watching those gauges.
yeah, you got to. Yeah.
Because once that pressure starts to drop, you only have that stuff in the volume tanks.
Yeah, just these.
So.
And if you're pulling hard on it.
Right, and I work hard under there. I breathe heavy.
Yeah.
And they let me know, hey, your air pressure's dropping below 80, so I'll come up.
Yeah. What do you like
Yeah.
your air pressure at when you're
I
diving?
like it at 100.
100, yep.
100, yeah.
And then you start coming up this problem if it goes down to 80
Below
or so.
80.
Yeah.
Low 80.
665 is our cutoff.
Cut off,
Yeah.
emergency, yeah.
A lot of people will dive, they'll dive at less than that and get
Those
on
guys,
it.
that's what they dive at, it's 60 PSI.
I don't know how.
Yeah.
I can barely breathe at 80.
These OTS Master made to run at 80,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the thing about it is that, once the pressure gets down that low, if you do have a problem, then you really don't have time at all. Because you're going to lose pressure so much faster after that. So.
but it's detrimental to have a good tender.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Yeah, I mean, their life is in your hands, so
Well,
gotta make sure.
I had somebody fall asleep on me a few
Oh, no.
times in the past, and I ended
Not
up
on this boat.
Yeah.
I ended
Not on
up
this
quitting
boat.
that vessel,
Okay.
and that's when Emily hired me,
Yeah.
like 5 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been working here 5 years?
Yeah, I took a season off.
Yeah.
I had some issues at home that I had to deal with, so I took a whole season off. But
Well, I guess Emily must like you then. You must be a good diver.
do something right.
Makes a damn good diver. He's an asset. to the boat.
That's cool. Oh, cool. You want to show us the wheelhouse?
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's fine.
Here's a couple cotton filters. I don't know if she told you about that.
Oh, no. So is that for the air
So,
filter?
Yes,
Um,
it goes
so it
into
goes
those volume tanks, and then back over here.
So it goes through the tanks, comes up.
It comes underneath the deck actually,
Okay.
and it comes up through here, the deck here,
Yep.
up through these cotton filters, and then down into the house.
So that just gives you nice, fresh, clean air to breathe?
Yeah, that's something really nice to have, filters like that. We didn't
Yeah.
have them before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then this one's our hot water, and that one's our air pressure.
Okay. So right next to the comm box, so the tender.
Yeah.
Yeah,
see
that's a
all
little
the-
tending station. We got a seat, pressure gauges, comms, and then you're high enough, you're elevated, so you can see everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Which is super helpful. So most of the time, you just sitting here.
Just sit up
You got
there.
your comms, you got your visibility, you get 360 degrees.
Yeah.
You got your gauges, and it's really a great spot to run
You got
the
your
boat.
Ooh,
heater.
your
nice.
heater.
Keeps her nice and warm.
Oh, you
Yeah,
can keep
keeps
it
it
back
warm.
warm.
Well, and you can cook on it too.
Is that a diesel unit?
Yeah, it's a little propane.
Oh, a little propane stuff?
A little propane test stove.
Oh, yeah, so you can put like a coffee pot right on there.
Oh, yeah.
Percolator.
Yeah, you could cook. Oh, that's a
Can of
percolator.
soup.
A little percolator,
That would
yeah.
be the move, man.
That'd be
Get a
cool.
percolator
Does
over
it
here?
smell like coffee in here?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Actually, I'll just foil up some burritos or
Oh, yeah, you can do that too. That'd be
make
cool.
tortillas and cook them on there.
And now
That's
that it's September and starting to get cold,
Yeah.
having this turned on, getting your gear
Yeah,
at least
Oh, yeah.
warm because it's always wet.
Yeah, yeah.
It's really nice to have that on and in here changing.
Yeah, you can
Because
hang
the
your
floor gets
wetsuit.
ice cold. There's been ice in here,
Oh, I bet.
in the
Oh,
past.
yeah. We're about to get into that part of the season,
It's getting
where you
there.
have to start purging your lines because it's going to freeze overnight.
Yeah, I forgot. We needed that air nozzle to stick in the
Oh,
airline.
yeah.
Yeah, it's getting that time.
Everything
That's
out,
easy.
the water hose.
That's how you know the end is coming
Yeah,
if you're purging the lines.
yeah.
Word. Well, I
Well-
think it's time for lunch, huh?
Lunchtime.
Yeah, lunchtime.
Well, thank you very much, guys. That was awesome. Thanks
Yeah,
for the
it
tour.
was
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check out Em's YouTube channel.
Yeah, what's so
I don't know what the channel's called. Like whatever. Look up Emily Riedel.
So you're filming for Emily's Behind the Dredge, is that what it is?
Yeah, we
Yep.
try and do like we call it Behind the Dredge, just like all the things that are too inane to make it on Discovery Channel.
No, that's cool. I'll put a link in the bottom of my description.
Cool,
If
yeah.
you want to check out Behind the Dredge.
Yeah, that's fun. It's a lot of like just quirks of living in Nome, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like price checks at the grocery store. Like
Oh,
how much
yeah.
a 6-pack of beer.
Yeah.
That's
you
shocking.
did that.
If you watch that video, that's gonna be shocking.
Yeah, I know. Or getting on floating on a mattress to Dredge 5.
Yeah.
Is it a YouTube channel?
Yeah.
What's it called? Just Behind the Dredge with Emily?
Well, the series is called Behind the Dredge, but the
Okay.
channel is just Emily Riedel.
Emily Riedel. Okay, so go to Emily Riedel's and you can see Behind the Dredge.
Yeah, we do that once a week.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thanks, Ryan.
Well, yeah, thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next time.